Well, hello everybody. Mitchell Osborn here. So I'm doing this live, but you may be watching it in the archive on Facebook or on YouTube. And this is purely, well, no, it's not purely selfish because I don't want to do that. But there's a very selfish component to this. And this is the story of Stefano and Santiago. And the reason I say it's a little selfish is because I want to document this feeling, this moment, and everything that's going on. So I'm going to my Facebook page and sharing this to my other ones. Hello, whoever's out there. Hey, Kaylin, how are you? I definitely want to see that. Oh, yeah. So this is, I'm going to document. I'm going to document them. I'm trying to find this on my Facebook page so I can share it to my regular page. There I am. So let me share over to my bum bum bum. So, and this, because I'm an animal communicator, there's going to be a little bit of a lesson here as well. But hey, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you want to share this, you're more than welcome to. I'm sharing it all over real quick, and it's going to be recorded for posterity. So, hello. So this is the story of Santiago and Fabian did that too. Santiago and Stefano. So let me show you who that is in case you haven't been following me. Let me get the picture. Okay, so there they are. So these are brothers. And I just want to show that picture first so you know what I'm talking about. They're cats, they're kittens. They're pretty much right at 3 months old as I'm recording this on the first day of Aries. It's the first day of spring. We just had the spring equinox. And there's just such fun, cool stuff going on around this. So yeah, they are just adorable. They're like probably 3 pounds each right now. So, and they're in the other room. I thought maybe I could bring them in here, but they're still just like getting all over the place. And we have Sebastian, another cat who's 14. So we're still kind of integrating them. I keep putting the fence up and letting them smell each other between the fence and then close the doors. But Fabian's staying with them in the guest bedroom overnight, and they're just all over him, sleeping all night long. So it's been beautiful. So here's some of the stuff that I want to share. So, and I thought about how I was going to do this. So this was a post that the group, oh, and I didn't put the name on here, Liberation Cat House. Liberation Cat House, and I'm going to make sure that's exactly what it is. I'm looking this up on Instagram. Liberation Cat House, yes, on Instagram. These are the people that we where we found or we got Stefano and Santiago. So you can see here they wrote a post a while back, and I don't have the date on there. So it says, so meet Tofu, the little black boy, and Tempe, the little tuxedo boy. So it's funny because they named them Tempe and Tofu, and if you're a vegetarian person, hey, Jessie, how are you, girl? How are you, Grace? My grace to you're my grace to my will. We go way back. So yeah. So the funny thing is that they named them those temporary names, and they said she said I think it's super cool that many people are trying to eat vegan these days. And then there you go. They showed our entire Liberation Cat House board of directors are vegan, so it's an honor that they chose these names. Hey, Norm. And the funny thing was, and I'll get to it, funny thing is, so Tofu and Tempe were found by a woman near her home right before Christmas. And we have determined by the help of the lady who rescued them, their eyes were still closed. So she pretty much figured these two were born on December the 19th, 2020. So they're Sagittarius. Now, here's where the fun starts. So we didn't know this ahead of time. So a lot of this stuff is behind the time. So the 12, 19, 20, 20, you add up all those numbers and you get 17. And 17 is the star card, which is about hope and rebirth. But more importantly, all those numbers add up to 8. And I attract the number 8 all over the place. Fabian is a number 8. He's a birth path 8. I'm a birth path 3, and we'll get to more of that too. Hey, Chantel, you're going to love this stuff. Chantel's good as animal communicator as well, so you're going to love this. So then, here's where, and so let's see, let me see, did I finish reading everything? So she said, so she took care of these 2 boys I guess there was another sister that the woman who took care of them decided to keep, but the two brothers went on to go out to be adopted. So she said now they're just weaned, and she posted this on Instagram. So now they're just weaned. She contacted us, the Liberation Cat House, hopes of rescue being able to take them in and find them homes when they're ready. I'm so excited to see these boys grow up in the coming weeks. So that's a little something. So let me show you what happened. So Fabian accepted an invitation to the Vegan Food and Wine Fest in Apopka on February 28th. So he went that day. It was it was okay in the sense of the Vegan Wine Fest, but he's a potter, so there wasn't a lot of art, so he didn't do very well. And I was going to go out and see him at like 5 o'clock because it was from 11 to 7, which is very odd. He's usually done by 2 or 3 on the farmers markets. So I was going to go out at 5 o'clock. Well, like at noon, he's like, it's not very good. I'm not selling anything. They're not people looking at art. And then he sent me a picture of these kittens, and I don't have that picture up here. But he sent me a picture of these kittens. I'm like, no, no. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to say no, but I'll just say, okay, they're cute, adorable. And he was one in particular. But then he kept saying, oh, they're brothers. They have to go together. So here we are going to a vegan food and wine festival, and they named them Tofu and Tempeh. If you don't know, those are like meat substitutes for high protein. And those were just temporary names. So being Mitch that I am, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to come out early. I'm going to come out at 3 o'clock. I'll see these kittens. I'll come see you. And I'm driving out. The funny thing is, I'm driving out, and I'm almost out of gas. And I'm like, well, I'll get gas on afterwards. And it took me further and further, way out in the middle of nowhere in Apopka. So I get there. I see Fabian. We walk over. We meet the kittens. They're just adorable. And so let me show you. This is kitten Santiago. So this is an all black, as you can see. And this is when they were probably early rescued. This is probably about what they looked like a couple weeks ago, because this was on the 28th we saw them. So that's Santiago. So, and then here is, oh, by the way, new names. I spoiled it already. Santiago and Stefano. So here is kitten Stefano. No, that's Santiago. Where's Stefano? Here's Stefano. So Stefano is a little tuxedo, got a little white here, and then all the paws are white. Hey, Linda, this is cat heaven time. So this is Stefano. So we thought about doing T names because Tofu Tempeh. And so I started looking up T names, and Fabian, for some reason, he got onto S names. So then I said, oh, we jumped to S names. So I'm looking up Spanish S names and Italian S names. And I finally, boiled it down after going back and forth with a bunch. I said, how about Stefano and Santiago? And he liked him, I liked him, so we went with it. Now, here's the fun thing. If you take the names Stefano and you put it into the numerological calculator, because each letter has its own numerological, component. The letter A is a 1, letter B is 2. So Stefano equals a 3, and I'm a birth path 3. And Stefano was the more reserved, chill, quiet one. And Santiago was a little more hyper and all over the place, like Fabian. And Santiago, if you add those numbers up, are 8, which is Fabian's number. So those two names, after we kind of settled on them, I put them into the calculator. So even after the fact, the numbers lined up. So Stefano's a number 3, Santiago's a number 8, and they were born on what we're claiming as an 8-day, and they're Sagittarius. So they're little fire signs. We found them at a vegan fest on what day? 2/28/2021, which is what? 17, which is what? Star card, which is what? An 8. So here, all the numbers were lining up, and I'm doing a lot of this behind the scenes. So thanks, Norm. So I'm driving out, and I have to be prepared. I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, but when your emotions get involved, you got to be careful. So I'm like, all right, cards. Let me pull some cards and see. So I'm driving out, and at each stop sign, I say, let me pull 2 cards to see 2 cards, about these 2 animals. And I went to Lenormand because Lenormand are like fortune telling. So here, and if you're Lenormand readers, get ready. So here's what I pulled for the first 2. So this is the man and the sun. So if you just look at that, the man. Let's see, I named my male tiger and the female tiger. Oh, I love it, Tigger and Tiger. I love that, Linda. So if you are reading for yourself or you're reading for a man, the man card is the man. So I'm asking, the cats, the kittens. What should I bring them home? I'm just kind of throwing it out there. What should I do? Well, if you're a reader, man and sun means positive, bright, brilliant. It's beautiful. I can't remember. Okay, so that's number 31, because the sun card is number 19, which we'll get to that later too. So here I am going, okay, cards. You know what? Let me at the next stoplight, let me pull another card. Let me just pull one card to see about these two kittens. What do I pull? This man with two things in his hands. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And coins are about the earthy things, your family, your money, your resources. So here's this guy, and this is Cancer zodiac sign. So here's this guy on a bicycle driving. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to be coming home with two things, with two cats, with two animals. So I thought, okay, next stoplight, let me pull another set of cards. I just pulled one more card. So I pulled this card, and it's Justice. Fabian is Libra. This is Libra. And look at the man. Both his hands are facing out, holding two things. So for me, this was a no-brainer, and I didn't tell Fabian ahead of time because I didn't want to get, we needed to get there. We needed to see how, somebody could have, already adopted him. So I pull all these cards, and all the cards are saying, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And I'm saying, Spirit, show me more stuff, because I don't, and you animal people, you know what I'm going through. I don't bring home animals lightly. I don't just let my heart do it. There are a lot of responsibilities. I've never raised kittens. We usually bring home the strays that are 3, 5, 7 years, 9 years old. We brought home a Pomeranian that was 9 years old. So we do the older animals in the rescue and the adoption. So to bring kittens home was a big deal. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too crazy. So I'm like, show me another sign. So then I come to a stoplight or stop sign right before I get to the big amphitheater, and it's San Sebastian Community. I'm like, are you kidding? Even Sebastian is on board with this. And Sebastian is the cat that's here, and he's about 14 years old, give or take 1 year, because he was a rescue. He's a flame point Himalayan. He is gorgeous. So, bringing another animal to the house. Now, we also have Sheldon, who's 19, who's just kind of oblivious. He doesn't see too well, doesn't hear too well, but he's a happy little boy. He's healthy. He's, having little bladder issues, but at 19, which is basically 136 years old, we're giving him that benefit of that doubt, So we bought those things that you put on your bed that are soft on the top, but plastic on the bottom to catch any pee so it doesn't go through. And he's pretty good, but he's, like I said, he's like 136 years old in human years, 19 years, he'll be 20 in August. So then after we chose the names, we realized Sheldon, Sebastian, Stefano, Santiago, all the S boys, and it's a house full of boys. We never really bring in girls. The Pomeranian was a girl. We tried one girl cat, and it was just kind of a temporary thing anyway, and just very, very independent, very different. But all the boys will probably all get along and be happy and healthy. So yesterday, so we fill out all the paperwork. There was 2 other ones there, and there was another couple there. And Davey's like, oh, if y'all want to take them, you can. And they're like, but my husband's coming, and we're only thinking about 2 boys, and the other one's like a boy and a girl, or 2 girls. And we're like, we don't do girls. The other couple, it was a husband and wife, I think, got the other 2. And then so 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, we go back over and go, we're ready to do it. We're ready to adopt them. So you have to fill out paperwork, do all the stuff. It was $90, people. It was amazing. They're going to be neutered. They're going to have all their shots. Everything was going to be done. We were about to leave on vacation on the 10th. And they're like, can you pick them up the 10th? And we're like, no, we can't. How about the 20th? We just threw it out there. We'll be back on the 18th. We can pick them up Saturday the 20th. So we pick them up yesterday. And yesterday is what? The spring equinox. Yesterday is 3/20/2021. And that boils down to a 10. 10 is the wheel card. 10 is expansion. 10 is also number 1, which is the magician. And all that boils down to 1. It's a 1 number. It's a start. It's a beginning. But also the expansion is like expanding the family, growing the family out. So the numbers were amazing. So Linda said mine were feral kitties. My little Maltese found. Oh my goodness, that's wild. That Maltese found them. So we've got some kitties in the house, and I think I've sent all. Let me see if there are any other. So here's the original picture in case you came in late. Not the original picture, but this is them. And I went to the person who was the Ashley, who's part of the director of Liberation Cat House. And if you want to give some money, people, I'm trying to figure out how I can maybe do like a once or twice a year, maybe on their birthday, do something to raise money. I'm letting Spirit guide me on that because I want to do something. So that's them. But I went to her Instagram and I robbed all, I screenshot all their baby kitten pictures because we weren't going to have those. So I've already created a huge album when they're little kittens, which is kind of what I showed you just a minute ago. So this picture I didn't take, she took it, but I stole it. And this picture, that's Santiago. So that's from her. Yeah. So then coming home, picture number one, there they are in the cat carrier. We went over, we had Thai food. And then we picked them up because they were over in Winter Garden, right at downtown Winter Garden. And here's another picture of them coming home. They sat down, they were just quiet. As you can see, they are brothers. They are literally with each other constantly playing, having fun, full of energy like little babies do. So then, as always, because I'm an animal communicator, one of the other things that, we did was, so on the 20th of February, we're bringing them home. And I told Fabian, now every time you think of them with Sheldon, even though he's not going to really know, they're probably not going to bother, but especially with Sebastian, think of them all together, happy, wonderful. When we talk to Sebastian over those next 2 weeks, we're like, Sebastian, there's 2 little brothers coming. You're going to be a big brother, maybe like a father figure. Just we introduce the energy of them, the images of them coming into the house. And we brought him in. We let Sheldon sniff him. He can barely, he's like, okay, there's something in there. It's not food. I'm going to walk away. But Sebastian sniffed. There was a little hissing on Stefano's part, and then a little bit of, meowing on Sebastian's part. But then twice now I've put up the cage and I let Sebastian and them kind of see each other on the other side of the cage. So they're starting to get familiar with each other. But that's energetic work as well as kind of behavioralist work, introducing them to each other. So we're probably going to, keep them separated 3, maybe 4 days, and then we'll start to allow them to roam around with each other when we're home, but not when we're not there yet. And we put one of our Nest cameras or our ADT cameras in the room so we can see them. Oh my gosh! Already they're jumping and flipping around. That we've captured some of those shots. Thank you, Joanne. We are lucky they found us. And some people say, "Oh, I rescued an animal." I'm usually like, "They rescued you," and these two are rescuing us. So they're really, really just adorable little babies. Because they are. I'm going to put this together picture up. So they are just so sweet and so cute, and they love playing around. So those who used to be Tofu and Tempe are now Santiago and Stefano. Stefano with the white boots. Santiago all black. They seem to be even closer than brothers. They're definitely very, very close. They're very, very connected. So so any questions about all this fun stuff, that you might ask an animal communicator? I know Chantal Martin, you've been doing this work yourself, so there's a lot of cool stuff going on. And the numbers were just amazing lining up. The connection was there, so very excited. And now I've got this in memory of them for the years to come. And I'm sure you'll see more of them. Oh, let me see if I think I already put something on TikTok too, because I've been doing a lot with animals in the evening. Thank you, Linda. In the morning, I've been doing my normal stuff, and in the evenings, I'm doing yes, I did a Meet Santiago. Let's see if you can see that. So you can see there's Stefano, and here comes Santiago. And there's some music playing on it, but I silenced a little bit. So they'll be on TikTok quite a bit. And I did, and if you haven't seen Sebastian, here's Sebastian. I said Sebastian either wants some attention or he's hungry. But you can see he's this gorgeous flame point Himalayan, just such a beautiful boy. So sweet. He's a clown. He's eating my book. So anyway, you guys, thank you for hanging out. Please post videos. I will. They're out there. Yes, Chantal Destiny for sure. Thank you, thank you. Yes, TikTok has some videos. My Instagram has some videos. I think I put some on my regular Facebook page as well. But you'll be seeing a lot of them coming up. So these two, oh, just beautiful little boys. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And if you have any other questions, you can private message me. If you ever need an animal communication reading, definitely check out mitchellosborn.com. I'll put the link if you want to book a session in there. Let me do that while we're still talking. And yeah, and if you want to get a tarot reading, you can do that as well. So I'm posting. There's where you can get a reading if you want to. Sebastian is adorable. And many of you may not realize, but on February the 2nd, an outdoor cat that was very attached to Fabian, Jade, we had to say goodbye to her. She just had some cuts and stuff that were not healing. She had kitty HIV, which once they know, you can't leave them outside anymore, and we can't bring them inside because we had so many other cats. And then 7 days later, Bartolomeo had it's called FATE, feline aortic thrombosis, where like a clot goes through, and within 60 minutes, we had to say goodbye to him. It was that was the probably hardest physical loss of a being that I've ever experienced in my life with Bart. And mainly because it was traumatic in the moment, but then it was also because he and I were just so attached and connected. He meditated with me. You know, he and I just had this bond. We were both Pisces. You know, he was just shy. He was just shy of his birthday, like 2 days or so. No, it was a month. It was a month later. But yeah. So thanks for hanging with me, and have an amazing day. Love your fur babies, your winged babies, your scaled babies. I love reptiles, so I'm a reptile fan as well. All right, namaste. Thanks for hanging. Have a good one. Bye bye.